Welcome back to Smoky Stadium as we get ready for a winner-take-all game number 3 of the championship series. Well, these two teams did not trail at all last weekend in the opening brackets of this tournament. And so far, LMU led wire to wire in game 1, and Newberry never trailed in game number 2. Will it be the top seed that clings to the trophy for the first time since 1999? Or will 6-seeded Lincoln Memorial become the second number 6 seed, the lowest in league history, to win the title? It's Tyler Chinpire to get the ball, and Chris Hall will go against him. Hall's had a great weekend so far. He has 4 hits in 8 at-bats in the championship series. Chinpire pitches, and he starts him with a breaking ball that hovers in there for strike 1 called. And we are underway here at 6:07. Michael Watrang with you. Andrew Rogers will be along shortly as Hall bounces this ball over the body of Jolly for strike 2. Our entire crew here inside of the ballpark. Great to have you on board in game number 3 of the best-of-3 series. 0-2 pitch. Hall chops one, first base side back behind the bag, but foul. We'll do it again at no balls and 2 strikes. These two sides have gone back and forth this weekend. First time they've met since 2021. Newberry had won 9 straight entering the weekend against LMU before the Splitters won game 1 of the series. The 0-2. Hall ropes it down the right field line, but foul out in front of this pitch. Count holds it no balls and 2 strikes. What's fascinating as well is Newberry avoids losing back-to-back games for just the second time this year. They've only done it once. The 0-2, Chinpire delivering. Missing high and away with a fastball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. One ball and 2 strikes the count. The right-hander has the sign. Ready to go in the pitch. Hall chops it up the first base line. He's doing a good job of hanging around here in this sequence. Chinpire brings the glove up in front of his chest and a quick pitch. Hall lines it back up the middle on a hop. Marine back behind the second base bag, throws to first base and just in time to get the speedy Hall for the out. Well, Newberry made the defensive adjustment. They know where Hall has been hitting it. It's been right back up the middle. And able to handle that ball was Marine on a liner that bounced, and he just did get Hall by a step. And here's Cameron Bowen, 7 of 23 in the tournament. And he digs in, and Chinpire starts him with a breaking ball in the dirt for ball 1. Well, what gives here in this ball game? The right-hander pitches, and Bowen bounces it up the third baseline. We know that Newberry will be postseason bound. They were number 2 in last week's NCAA regional rankings. LMU's got to win the tournament. The right-hander pitches the 1-1, and that drifts low and outside. 2 balls and a strike to count. Chinpire's 2-1. Bowen pops it foul back and over our heads. Two balls and 2 strikes here to Bowen. Chinpire eyes the sign, and now the break-even pitch. Slider, check swing, strike 3 after an appeal down to first. And a punch out for Chinpire. And he gets the leadoff man to begin the day. Or check that, the second man, his first strikeout rather. And with 2 outs and nobody aboard, here's Carson Bowles. Bowles 9 out of 23 in the tournament. And Chinpire starts him with a fastball, and it's popped up into shallow right field. LeBron is on. He's under it, makes the catch, and that ends the inning. A 1-2-3 first for Chinpire. And here comes Newberry's offense in a scoreless game. Tyler Chinpire retires the side in order in the first. And now Eli Eds will try to match that for Lincoln Memorial in the bottom of the first. And he deals with Donovan Ford. And Ford fouls the first pitch back. Ford up to 43 stolen bases on the year. Lightning quick speed. The pitch, well low and outside. 1-1 this time. Ed's a freshman from Maynardville, Tennessee. On the season, Ed's 6-3 with a 5.29 ERA. 1 ball, 1 strike. The right-hander pitches. And a high chopper to third. Leaping grab by Harvey to his left. Picks it on a hop. And throws to first base to get Ford. To get the opening out of the inning. He was pulled in on the grass, and by doing so, made that play look very routine, quick, and easy. And with the leadoff man retired in the bottom of the first, it brings Jacob LeBron to the plate. LeBron, 8 of 19 in the tournament. He's been great in this championship series as he swings at the first pitch and fouls it off. 2 hits in game 1. 3 hits in game 2. It's 5 hits more than anybody else in the championship series. Righty pitches, and LeBron takes a backdoor breaking ball for strike 2 called. 0-2. Bobby Dunnigan back behind the plate, the crew chief. Chris Rubessa at first, Gary Keller at second, Julius Green at third. Your umpires. The 0-2. LeBron takes a bouncer in the dirt. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Newberry's gotten this far. They've won 40 games, now 40-10 on the year. LMU at 31-17. 1-1. LeBron bounces it foul, first base line. The sun beginning to set, so some shade has taken over the ballpark, specifically behind the plate and up third baseline. Here's the 1-2 pitch. LeBron takes a high fastball away. 2-2. Eds gets the sign from Jared Hancock. And the 2-2 pitch. High and away. 3-2. Well, both coaches have been ultra consistent with their lineups. Very few substitutions, even in terms of the bullpen, so far this weekend. Here comes the payoff pitch from Eds. LeBron takes outside. There's ball 4. And a one-out base runner for Newberry. And it brings Braylon Marine to the plate. Marine will try to get going here. So far in the championship, Marine is 1 out of 7. He came in hitting .439, a league best. And now he sits at .428 for the year. Conference's player of the year in the box. Then the first pitch to him is high and tight for ball 1. One ball and no strikes. LeBron, 13 steals at first. The pitch, high. Took that 18 steals at first. 2 balls and no strikes. Marine, 5 of 19 overall in the tournament. Newberry's gotten this far without their best hitter doing damage. The 2-0. Marine flares one, shallow left, sinking. Hall can't get there. And it's a base hit for Braylon Marine, and sometimes you don't have to hit it hard to get the job done. He's got the first hit of the day for either side. A little bit out in front of it, but enough strength to pull it into left. And Newberry will try to score first in the deciding game of this 3-game series to crown a league champion. Newberry, the regular season title holders. Henry Gibson at the plate. 2 men on. The first pitch to left-hand hitters. High and away on a fastball. Ball 1. Well, great speed on the base paths. Marine's got 38 steals this year. He's at first. Eds pauses. There's your 1-0. He backdoors a breaking ball on the outside corner for a strike. 1-1. Now LeBron's getting a pretty good lead. And because LMU has to pay attention to him, Bowen is playing almost directly behind him. There's a massive hole in the 6-hole. Here's the 1-1 pitch. On the outside corner again with a breaking pitch. 1-2. Outfield shuffled around the left-hand side as well. Gibson homered here last night in that marathon outing. 1-2 the count to Gibson. Eds pitches. Gibson late on it. Pushes it foul off of third. And the count holds here at a ball and 2 strikes. LMU losing a 1-run game for the 11th time this year. They were so close, perhaps, to getting some more hardware. A 1-2 pitch. This one just missed outside, not by much. 2-2 the count. LMU's last NCAA tournament appearance was in 2019. Beat Mount Olive, then lost to North Greenville twice. Break-even pitch. Gibson bounces one. First base side. Kurth will pick it up. His only play will be to first base. The runners move to second and third. But there's 2 outs here in the opening frame, and Jonathan Velez coming to the plate. Velez so far 5 out of 19 this weekend. In our first game today, went hitless in 3 at-bats. Newberry knocking on the door of scoring first here in the bottom of the first. Runners at second and third and 2 outs. Eds kicks the leg and fires, and here's a ground ball. Diving effort by the third baseman, Harvey. He bobbles. Marine to third base. He gets to the bag. Harvey can't apply the tag. Everybody's safe. LeBron scores. Newberry leads 1-0. Boy, that was a dandy of a play by Harvey. Hit sharply to his left. He dove to his left, got it, and as he was going to put it into his bare hand, the transaction didn't go the way that he wanted it to. It popped out, bounced on the ground. Marine slid around the initial tag attempt and then was able to keep both his hand and his back leg on there. Officially ruled an infield single and an RBI. And Eds now goes to work here on Faircloth, and now they got a runner in a rundown between first and second. Marine scores. Velez stuck between first and second. He's running back to first and gets tagged in the back by Bowen. But Marine scores. Newberry steals 2 with 2 outs in the first. And the league's top seed looking to become the first number 1 seed to win the title outright since 2014. Has a 2-0 lead in the series decider. 2-0 Newberry after 1.
The NCAA sponsors 90 national championships each year, none of which could happen without officials. There is an urgent need for sports officials across the country, as they are retiring 4 times faster than they are coming in, leaving shortages at all levels of sport. The NCAA recognizes the importance of officiating on the student-athlete experience and is dedicated to the recruitment and retention of new officials for all sports. There are many great reasons to become an official. Stay in shape and get paid to do so. Meet new people and build relationships within a tight-knit community. Give back to the sport you love by creating a fair atmosphere and upholding the integrity of the game. Say yes to officiating. Visit ncaa.org/say yes to officiating for more information on how to get started.
Well, the first inning was classic Newberry baseball. Infield single with 2 outs, a steal, a home, and a runner caught in a rundown. They get 2, and here's Tyler Chinpire back to work against the heart of the order. Andrew Keene swings at the first pitch, loops a base hit into left field, hunting that first offering that he sees. And the .311 hitter kickstarts LMU's offense in the second. First base runner of the day for the Splitters. And Caston Harvey digs into the batter's box, hit the game-tying home run in the 7th inning of Game 2 of the series. Tied it at 4, but Newberry ended up winning it on a pass ball. Chinpire quickly to first, and back safely is Keene. Another throw over there, and once again, Keene back. Chinpire, sophomore from Jupiter, Florida, 6'5", 165. Doesn't always go that deep in a game, but typically gives you good middle innings as the pitch is thrown over to, or the throw goes over to first on a pickoff attempt. He hasn't gone more than 6 innings this year, but he's right between 4 and 6 innings every game. Right-hander pitches, and he misses low. 1 ball and no strikes, and I was talking to Russell Triplett this week, and he was talking about Chinpire and said that if you just look at the sheer numbers, you wouldn't expect what he's done as he pitches and bends one in there at the knees for a strike, 1-1. 2 years in a row, he's been one of the best. He does walk a lot of guys this year. That's certainly something to keep an eye on as he throws to first. 27 walks in 55 innings, but opponents hitting just .238 against him. 1-1 pitch. This is low and outside, 2-1. He just does such a good job of mixing pitches. I think at the end of the day, that's part of the reason for his great success this year. Got a little bit of everything in the back pocket. 2-1 pitch. Fastball, late on it, Harvey. straight back and out of play. Well, the longest drought in league history between championships, Lenore Rhine, 21 straight years without one until last year. In fact, had won just 3 tournament games in that stretch before winning 4 last season. Another throw to first, and once again back safely is Keene. But Newberry has a chance to bust up a 24-year drought today. The 2-2. Swing and a miss, soft speed pitch. He gets his second punch out, does Chinpire. And that retires Harvey. It's the first out of the inning, and Ryan Kurth will stand in. Well, it stayed high in the zone and then just dipped right below the belt. So with the runner at first base, 1 out now. Kurth stands in. Right-handed hitter. Pops it up. First pitch swing. Foul ground. First base side. Henry Gibson is there to make the catch. First baseman just in front of the warning track. There's 2 outs. And Mitch Petzel will come to the plate. He's extended his hitting streak to 10 games in a row. Went 1 for 3 in game number 2 earlier today. 2-0 Newberry on top, and a throw to first base sends Keene back. Keene has 16 steals, but hasn't been over there really long enough to even consider it. Another throw over there, and once again back safely is Keene. Chinpire will control the running game as well as anybody can. The pitch, swing and a miss. Pitch down and in. He beat him with the fastball. Chinpire juggles that baseball right in front of his right thigh, holds the glove around his belt, now comes to a hold in front of the Newberry text on the front of his jersey and fires in a fastball in the outside corner to get ahead at 0-2. A runner at first base and 2 outs. No balls and 2 strikes. Chinpire's ready. He pitches. And it's a flare hit out beyond second base. Coming on, LeBron racing forward. Makes the catch and ends the inning. The right fielder squeezes it, and that ends the inning. Chinpire made it look easy after giving up a leadoff single. We played an inning and a half. Newberry's lineup back to the dish when we return to Smoky Stadium.
Calling officials cheaters or corrupt, it's not a game.
Insulting referees, it's not a game.
Threatening officials, it's not a game.
Berating young umpires, learning the ropes, it's not a game.
Violent language in the stands, it's not a game.
Verbal abuse from the sideline, it's not a game.
Screaming at a referee in the parking lot, it's not a game.
So what happens now? Your response in the heat of the moment is the only thing you totally control, and we have an experiment for you to try. Simply stated, just cheer for your child or the team you're there to support. Move that desire to lash out to a different place and encourage without rage. Your child's sporting memory should be about how you helped inspire and not about how you caused embarrassment.
Newberry scored twice in the opening inning, and they come to the plate here in the bottom of the second inning looking for their first league tournament title since 1999. And it's Faircloth to start it off. Cade will dig into the batter's box. Faircloth, 7 of 19 in the tournament so far. And the first pitch from Eds is a fastball across the belt for a strike. And Faircloth is the reason why Newberry's in this spot, because of what he did in the ninth. Drew a walk, in game 2 of a 4-4 game with one out. The 0-1. This is low, 1-1. He stole second, and when the throw ended up in right center field, he hustled to third and scored 2 pitches later on a pass ball. 1 ball and 1 strike. Eds pitches, and a nice, tight, firm slider checks in at the knees for a strike, 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. Eds has the sign, and the right-hander twists, turns, and fires. And a swing and a miss. Faircloth down on strikes. And that breaking pitch from Eds right there was lethal. Down in the zone on a couple of those offerings. Had a great deal of movement to him as well. That thing started middle of the plate and up around the belly button and ended up in the dirt off the plate. And now Red Jolly will stand in a 2-0 game. Eds pitches, and that bounces up there, skips to the backstop. 2-0, Newberry leads it. 1-0 pitch from Eds. Well outside, 2-0. LMU entered the day with the 3rd longest winning streak in the country, having won 9 straight before losing the 2-0. Swing and a miss. 2-1 by just a run for the 11th time this year. Two balls and a strike. Here it is. Bouncing ball to third. Harvey right behind the third base bag. Picks, and a strong throw pops the mid in the chest to Kurth at first. And there's 2 away here in the 2nd inning. To bring Jesse Free to the plate. Free 6 out of 19 so far in the tournament. Will stand in. Newberry 2, Lincoln Memorial 0. The 1-versus-6 matchup in the SAC Tournament Championship Series. Eds pitches, and it's right down the middle for a strike. Lincoln Memorial officially joined the South Atlantic Conference in 2007. Since that time, only Catawba has won more league tournament titles. The 0-1. A little flare off of first base. Kurth into foul ground to the grass makes the catch. And that ends the inning. So a 1-2-3 frame from Eds. And we played 2 complete. 2-0. Top-seeded Newberry on top in the winner-take-all game.
I chose LMU because I wanted doors to open for me. For my future to have endless possibilities. To know I could become anything I wanted to be. Objection, Your Honor. I always wanted to say that. So whether I wanted to be a veterinarian, a high school teacher, let's turn to page 32, or a successful dentist, I knew LMU would help me get there. All I had to do was open the door.
Hey, conductor, how about something new? You played this last year.
Come on, get your head out of your sacks.
Shh, we're trying to hear.
Well, I'm sick and tired of hearing your kid play the wrong notes. Where's my kid's solo?
Why is my kid stuck way in the back?
The conductor only plays his favorites.
My kid heard! No!
You see it like this?
Tyler Tinfire's thrown 23 pitches. He's retired 6 of the first 7 that he's seen in this game. Trying to lead his team to a conference tournament championship for the first time in, I'd imagine, every single one of these players' lives. For Newberry's history, they haven't won since 1999. And Jared Hancock will start it off for this Lincoln Memorial group in a 2-0 Newberry lead. Chinpire pitches. And he drops a breaking ball just off of the plate for ball 1. Hancock 0 for 3 in game number 2. Right-hander's 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. Hancock overall 0 out of 6 in the championship series. A ball and a strike to count. Chinpire working out of the windup, lifting the leg and pitching, and a foul ball back over our heads to the right. For strike 2, 1-2. 77 degrees, sunny skies mostly overhead. Was your game time temperature. Into the twilight hours we go. The 1-2. Well outside. He twisted a breaking ball that ended up in the dirt in the opposite batter's box. Chinpire kicks that left leg and fires. Just missed outside. He liked that location. Some of the fans behind us as well really liked that location. And Chinpire didn't get the benefit of it. 3-2 the count. The right-hander into his motion. The payoff. Just missed high, and Hancock draws the walk. Leadoff base runner for the second inning in a row for the Splitters. And here's Colin Goda. Goda 3 for 18 in the tournament overall. Has 2 hits and 8 at-bats in the championship series. Runner at first base, nobody out. 2-0 Newberry. Chinpire pitches. Goda swings and rakes one down the left field line, but foul. 1 strike and nothing. Well, in the second inning, a leadoff base hit from Keene, and he never moved from first. Lincoln Memorial thinking about that right now and wanting to, at the very least, move Hancock over a base. Goda had his sights on more. Chinpire throws to first. Hancock, despite being a catcher, 5 out of 6 in stolen base attempts this year. He gets the start behind the dish for the 3rd game in a row. The 0-1. On the outside corner, perhaps a generous call in the eyes of Goda. Took an extra long look at that one, kind of leaned out and said, I don't know about that one. But it is strike 2. Chinpire pauses. Here's his 0-2 pitch. Popped up, right field. LeBron tracing back into the alleyway. The right fielder leans back, reaches up, makes the catch. Hancock retreats to first base. So Goda unable to get the runner over. And here comes Chris Hall. Hall grounded out to short to lead off the ball game, but rifled a ball back up the box that Braylon Marine was in the perfect defensive position to field it. Well, Hall has been living up the middle, and that means Marine is directly behind the second base bag, and his heels right around the edges of the dirt. First pitch to left-hand hitters, down and in. Good block by Jolly. As you would expect, the all-defensive team pick behind the dish. 1-0. Newberry struck for 2 in the opening inning. It's a 2-0 lead here in the 3rd. The 1-0. Hall takes off the plate up and away on a fastball. 2-0. Throw to first base and back safely with a headlong dive is Hancock. 2-0 pitch. Hall takes a strike. Throw down to first base. Nearly went down the right field line. Gibson had to track into foul ground just to be able to pull that one out of the sky. And a count of 2 balls and a strike. Two and 1 here to Hall. Big hole left side of the infield. The 2-1. Hall swings and misses on a breaking ball down. It's 2-2. Well, Velez had to respect the bunt possibility of Hall. Now he kind of retreats towards where the shortstop Marine would normally be. Here's the 2-2. Hall waits on it and whiffs on a curveball. 3rd strikeout for Chinpire. Had Hall completely fooled. He waited on it as long as he could, thought he was getting something else, and whiffed right over the top. 3 punch-outs for Chinpire. 2 outs, and the leadoff runner still at first. Here's Cameron Bowen. Runner takes off, pitch is taken up and away. Throw down to second base, ends up in right center. And Marine will track it down, and Hancock with that slide had to stay put at second base. The But that's exactly what I said earlier in this inning. For a catcher, he runs pretty well, and he's got his 6th stolen base of the year. And a great jump. So now, for the first time today, LMU has a man in scoring position. Can they do something with it? The 1-0 pitch on the outside corner to Bowen. 1 ball, 1 strike. In game number 2 of the series, LMU was just 1 out of 4 with runners in scoring position, and that was a day after they went 7 of 18. Here's the 1-1. Bounce towards third base, but foul. 1-2. One thing that you notice about Chinpire, just watching him, he's a competitor. He's at his best in moments like these. One ball and 2 strikes with 2 outs. Chinpire looks at second. Another glance back there, and now here's the pitch. Foul back over our heads. Well, we saw Bennett Reamer go 7 innings of 4-run baseball. Russell Triplett talked about him and said that typically this time of the year you have freshmen that have peaked out by that point and are grinding to the end of the year. Well, he's pitching his best baseball at the right time. Chinpire's a sophomore, doing his best now as he pitches, and Bowen howls at that. Chinpire went 4 innings last week, but prior to that, he'd been really good in 2 of his last 3. 6 innings against the Bears in the final week of the regular season, and 5 shutout innings against Catawba 2 weeks prior to that. Right-hander pauses. The 1-2. That are rolled up the first base line. It hugs, squibs, and is picked up by Gibson right along the first base bag and steps on the bag to end the inning. Chinpire gives up a leadoff base runner for a 2nd inning in a row. LMU does nothing with it. 2-0 Newberry on top through 2.5.
Hometown Ticketing makes it fast and easy to buy tickets on your school's website or in the new Hometown Fan app. It's simple. Just search for your school, buy your tickets, and they'll be right there in your account, ready to be scanned when you get to your event. Download the Hometown Fan app today.
Eli Eds fired a 1-2-3 inning in the second after giving up 2 in the first, and his team's behind 2-0 in the winner-take-all championship game of this best-of-3 series at Smoky Stadium. 9-1 and 2 up for Russell Triplett's group here in this bottom of the 3rd inning against Eds. Jomar Lugo, who has just 2 hits and 14 at-bats in the tournament, will stand in. A right-handed hitter against the right-handed throwing Eds. He kicks and fires, and that hits Lugo in the back. And the leadoff man aboard to begin Newberry's half of the 3rd. Well, despite the fact that Lugo hasn't had a lot of hits, that is the 3rd free pass that he's drawn today. Had 2 walks in game 1 this afternoon. So here's Donovan Ford, a ground out to begin the ball game for Newberry's lineup. 2-0 Newberry out in front. Ford, you can almost guarantee a bunt. He does square, and it misses way up and in. He had to lean back as far as he could to avoid getting plunked by that one. Well, Ford will try to get this bunt down. Lugo with 5 steals will try to scamper his way over to second base. 1-0. Ford squares. Breaking ball misses low. 2-0. One thing that has always been the case about this Newberry group these last several years is they wear you down. Tough to play them over a series, and a reason why. They're 7-1 this year in conference series. Fastball stays high on the 2-0 pitch, and now it's 3-0. Well, this drives you crazy as a coach. You got a guy willing to offer an out. 3-0. Ford takes a strike at the knees inside corner, 3-1. You just can't throw strikes. Granted, it's not like Ford is necessarily an easy out, even if he does bunt it. Not conceding that with great speed. 3-1 pitch. Ford does bunt it, third base side. This one's foul, and the count's at 3-2. His 43 steals amongst the most in the history of the conference. 43 of them now on the season. Right-hand pitcher's ready. The payoff pitch. Missed outside. That one looked pretty good. But a hit batter and a walk, and Newberry has a great opportunity here in the third. And here comes Jacob LeBron. LeBron drew a walk in the first and scored the game's first run. Two 2-0 Newberry on top. The corner infield has already begun to pinch in. Right-hand pitcher. Ready to go. LeBron, left-hand hitter, squares, misses, up and away. 1-0 the count. One ball and no strikes. Eds pitches. And LeBron takes a strike on a bunt attempt. I'm looking at the Division II record book for stolen bases in a single season. The record was set last year. Braden O'Connor of Benedict stole 97 bases in 43 games. The 1-1. High. 2-1. He broke the record by 1. The record had stood since 1987. St. Leo's Cisco Johnson stole 96 in 49 games. Only one other player has stolen at least 80. 2-1 the count, the pitch. LeBron bunts it, but foul. And the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. He had a guy named Michael Jordan steal 73 bases. It was back in 2012. I don't think it's the same one, though. A lot of Benedict in here. From what I can see in the region, Armstrong State no longer exists. Is the only school I recognize. LeBron strikes out swinging. Runner is off of second base, and the throw goes into center field. And both runners are going to move up as the throw just goes into no man's land to the mound. So that is a strikeout of LeBron. Second for Eds in the game. And both runners will take a bag here. Well, Lugo is way off of the bag, and they had a chance to get him in some capacity. But that ball ended up in center field, and both runners able to move up. And officially, they're going to rule that a stolen base for both runners. So that's number 44 for Ford. T. Wayne Willis had the record in the conference for a while. Former Lincoln Memorial star had 42. Twice, actually, in his career. So Justin Haywood goes out to the mound to have a word as the conference's 2-time reigning Player of the Year, Braylon Marine, coming to the plate.
So pretty much back to what this what you were mentioning about the stolen bases is Donovan Ford's, 44, 45. Is that a good number, though, compared to what the record is? I mean, that's not even half of the record.
Yeah, it's not half of the record, but I'm guessing these are the top 20. The last of the group is 57. And I mean, those are good numbers. But it's crazy to think about because Ford has had such a good season in stealing bases. But in the landscape of the history of the NCAA, yeah, that doesn't really crack the code. So here is Marine. Infield in, 1 out. The first pitch misses low and outside for ball 1. LMU has gotten action rolling down in the bullpen. 1 ball, no strikes to Marine. He can hurt you in a lot of ways. The pitch. Marine swings, slices one out to right center field. This is a long run for the center fielder, Goda. It's well over his head. Marine can run for a while. 2 runs are in. The player of the year to third. He's in there safely. The throw gets by the third baseman. Bounces off the dugout. Marine hustles home. Newberry has seized control. 5-0 in the third. Marine hit that ball as hard as any he's hit this weekend. All the way to the warning track, nearly 370 feet away. Lugo and Ford scored, and the relay throw was way past not just Harvey, but the pitcher Eds. Bounced off the dugout fence. Marine alertly takes off for the plate and gets there easily. 5-0 Newberry. And here's Henry Gibson. Eds pitches. Gibson bunts one. Third base side, but foul. So that'll be a 2-run triple for Marine. A 2-run triple for him, and he scores as Gibson swings and misses. He scores on an error. I think it was the second baseman, Petzo. 0-2 to Gibson. Eds lifts the leg and pitches, and Gibson rolls it out to second base. Petzelt has been a vacuum out there at second all weekend. Throws out Gibson for the second out of the inning. LMU has Matthew Delph throwing down in the bullpen. And Jonathan Velez will stand in at an RBI single and a 2-run first. Newberry is struck for 3 more here in the third, and they are in control at 5-0. Right-hander kicks the leg and pitches. And that one's in there at the knees for a called strike. To get ahead at 0-1. Eds pitches, and he bounces it up there. 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, how about the piece of hitting from Marine? Had been pretty quiet all weekend so far. And now he's got 2 hits in the deciding game. The 1-1 pitch. Well outside, 2-1. Delph getting loose quickly. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Low again. Velez leaving it there. 3-1. Well, all the momentum and advantage right now in the side of the Newberry first base dugout. How does LMU respond? 3-1. Swing and a foul tip. Gloved by Hancock. 3-2. Well, LMU has not lost by more than 4 runs in any game this year. They face a 5-run deficit. Here's the payoff pitch. Velez chops at third base side. Tough play for Harvey. Circles, picks, has trouble getting out of the glove. Still gets it over there, but not in time. And Velez down the line safely. Well, that was always going to be a tough play for Harvey. And when he couldn't get the exchange out of the mitt, Velez was able to scamper down the line and beat the throw. Harvey did such a good job to get to it. The first baseman, Kurth, put the left foot on the bag. And if he could have gotten around the bag and maybe extended more, might have had a shot to get him with a long stretch. Instead, the inning continues. And right-handed hitting, Faircloth takes a hack at the first pitch and swings and misses. Second hit of the inning, fourth of the game for Newberry. One strike pitch. Misses low and inside. 1-1. Well, when Newberry gets up like this, they play freely. 1-1 pitch. Faircloth shoots one out to right center field. Coming on, Goda, still coming on. He dives and makes the catch in right center field to end the inning. So good play by Goda to end the frame. But Newberry strikes for 3. The conference's two-time reigning player of the year, Braylon Marine, gets the job done. A 3-run Newberry inning and a 5-0 lead as we go to the 4th.
Hey, conductor, how about something new? You played this last year.
Come on, get your head out of your sacks.
Shh, we're trying to hear.
Well, I'm sick and tired of hearing your kid play the wrong notes. Where's my kid solo?
Why is my kid stuck way in the back?
The conductor only plays his favorites.
My kid heard. No.
And we have an experiment for you to try. Simply stated, just cheer for your child or the team you're there to support. Move that desire to lash out to a different place and encourage without rage. Your child's sporting memory should be about how you helped inspire and not about how you caused embarrassment.
Newberry gets 3 runs in the 3rd, and the Wolves lead it 5-0 in the winner-take-all championship game 3. And here to take you through the middle innings, it's Andrew Rogers.
Thanks, Michael. One hit for Lincoln Memorial through the first 3 innings. They've faced Tyler Chinpire. They're going to have to figure him out here in the middle innings, trying to cut into this 5-0 lead, or 5-0 deficit, I should say, that the Rail Splitters find themselves into. Chinpire begins the 4th with a ball high over top the leadoff hitter Carson Bowles, who swings and pops one up in the infield. Gibson right side will make the play even with the bag at first. 2 pitches, 1 out to begin the top of the 4th. Well, just 1 hit to show for right now. The guy at the plate, Andrew Keene, is responsible for the lone hit for Lincoln Memorial. That was back to begin the 2nd inning. He'll try to get something started here in the 4th against Chinpire, who misses low with a fastball for ball 1. Keene has been a solid hitter all year for the Splitters. You see the RBI total 41 this year, hitting above 300 as well. Takes inside on another fastball delivered in by the right-hander Chinpire, ball 2. Chinpire 3 1/3, 1 hit, 1 walk, and 3 punch-outs against the 12 batters he has faced so far. 2-0 pitch popped up in foul ground and will venture into the seats. For strike 1. 2 balls and 1 strike in a 5-0 game. Game 3 of this championship series. Lincoln Memorial won the first one yesterday evening, an 11-5 victory as count runs to 3-1. Newberry survived, held on in game 2, a run in the 9th. They get the final 3 outs to win 5-4 and to force this game 3, and they're in control now. Here's a ground ball through the left side, base hit. 2 hits for Andrew Keene, and that's the 2nd Lincoln Memorial hit. Keene delivers his 2nd single, and now Caston Harvey. This is a Lincoln Memorial offense that can certainly get the bats rolling. They've scored 111 runs over the course of their 9-game winning streak, which was snapped earlier today. This is an explosive offense. Can they get it going against Chinpire and the Wolves? Here in the top of the fourth, trailing 5-0. Here's a pick over to first. Ball gets away from Gibson just a little bit, not enough to allow Keene to take off. "14 multi-hit games for Keene this season. Make it 15 with a 2-hit performance early in this championship game. Inside fastball from Chinpire misses for ball one. Keene's base hit came on a 3-1 offering. See if Harvey can do something similar. If he can get ahead in the count. And he bounces one foul down the third base side. Strike one. 1 ball and 1 strike, 1 out here in the top of the fourth. Championship game, Chinpire goes back over to first. Once again, Keene back safely. He's got 16 stolen bases to his line this year. 1-1 to Harvey, bounces into the dirt. Good block from Jolly. Doesn't allow that ball to get to the backstop. Holds the runner at first, 2-1. Keene, a strikeout victim, back in the second. Here's a called strike, 2-2. Or Harvey, a strikeout victim, I should say, back in the second inning. Caston Harvey has 6 hits this weekend. The 2-2 fouled back. He stays alive. 6 hits over the course of the South Atlantic Conference tournament in 19 tries. He's got 6 runs batted in. That's tied for second most on the team. Hitting out of the 5 spot has been an integral part of this Splitters offense. 2-2 set in the pitch. Just outside, maybe a little bit high on the fastball from Tyler Chinpire. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Good battle. Harvey has worked this count full. Righty comes set the pitch. Breaking ball left up in the zone. Harvey drives it to straightaway center. Donovan Ford has his cap fall off as he sprints in to make the catch. 2 outs. And now Ryan Kurth, the first baseman, is 0 for 1. He'll get his second chance against Chinpire here in the fourth. First time Lincoln Memorial will really face a sizable deficit like it sits now at 5-0. They trailed 3-0 earlier today in Game 2. Here's a line drive into center field. This ball will drop in, base hit. One hops into the mid of Donovan Ford, and a 2-out single for Ryan Kurth. Kurth delivers his 6th hit of the South Atlantic Conference tournament on this good drive to center. Wise decision from Ford. He may have been able to make a diving effort at that baseball, but with a 5-run lead, you don't want to make a mistake and give this LMU offense something to cheer about, make them earn it. And it'll be Mitch Petzelt to the plate. Petzelt takes a breaking pitch across the strike zone and in for a called strike one. 0-1. Petzelt has been a nice piece to the LMU offense this weekend, and really throughout the South Atlantic Conference tournament. 0-1 set, a pause in the pitch. High curveball for ball one. Heading into this championship game, he's got 8 hits and hitting .421. Team best batting average, .421 over the course of this South Atlantic Conference tournament, hitting out of the 7 spot. 1-1, high and in. Ball 2, throw down to second. A close play, but back on a head-first slide is Keene. Sharp throw from Jolly, trying to back-pick the runner Keene. He was able to hustle back. Just got that right hand into the bag to get back safely. 2 balls and 1 strike. 2 outs here in the fourth. 2-1. Line drive, left field, base hit. Runners getting the wave. Play at the plate. Not in time. Head first slide. Andrew Keene scores. Petzelt delivers his 4th RBI of the SAC tournament. And LMU is on the board in the championship game. Good rope into left. Aggressive base running. Keene able to get in there despite a pretty solid throw from Faircloth. Out there in left. And the Rail Splitters have put together back-to-back 2-out singles to strike for the first time in this championship game. Winner take all. And now Jared Hancock. And Rick Jolly will trot out to the mound to talk with his starting pitcher, Tyler Chinpire, who entered this inning in a groove. Through his first 3 innings, he had only allowed 2 base runners. A walk in the 3rd of Hancock, who's now at the plate, and a leadoff single in the 2nd against Andrew Keene. LMU has been able to put 4 guys on the bases so far in this 4th inning, and they have at least 1 run to show for. 5-1 game, tying run, waits in the on-deck circle as Hancock steps in. Kurth at second, Petzelt at first. As Chinpire starts, Hancock with a fastball over the heart of the plate that is popped up right side. And this ball is going to get out of play. Both Jolly and Gibson gave it a look, but watched it venture into the seats for a foul ball. Strike 1. Wonder how much this Lincoln Memorial team has left in the tank, how much both of these teams have left in the tank. They've been here since 10 o'clock in the morning. This game got pushed back 2.5 hours, or the second game of the day, or the second game of the series got pushed back 2.5 hours. Breaking pitch across the plate, called strike on Hancock, who doesn't like the call. Strike 2, though. Wonder these two teams who can dig deep and find what it takes to get the job done in the championship game. No balls and 2 strikes the pitch. Hancock flies one out to right. LeBron backtracking, and he'll size it up, make the catch. Inning over. But Lincoln Memorial gathers 3 base hits, and they score a run despite leaving 2 runners aboard. We're through 3.5. It's 5-1 Wolves here on Flow Sports. It's turned out to be a beautiful evening at Smoky Stadium. What is a winner-take-all championship game? 5-1 the score. Newberry leads it thanks to a 2-run first inning, a 3-run third. LMU cuts into the lead with a run there in the top half of the 4th as we head to the bottom half. Newberry set to bring 7, 8, 9 to the plate. Jolly, Free, and Lugo to face the starter for LMU. Eli Eds back out there. Despite some activity from the Splitters bullpen there in the 3rd. Splitters show some life at the plate. Now can Eds put together a scoreless frame like he did in the 2nd? Help get the Splitters some momentum. Try to make this comeback. They've got plenty of time to do it, but it starts with getting some scoreless innings and holding down what is a strong Newberry offensive attack. Inning begins with a breaking pitch outside for ball 1 to Jolly. He was a ground-out victim back in the 2nd against Eds, who bounces one before the plate for ball 2. Both teams have 4 hits, but The Wolves have the 5 runs to show for for those 4 hits, while the Splitters just have the 1 run. Inside fastball misses. It's 3-0 to start this 4th inning against Rhett Jolly. Jolly 4 hits throughout his time in the South Atlantic Conference Tournament, and he'll not have to take the bat off the shoulder as he watches 4 pitches miss the zone. And he'll walk up to first base to give Newberry a leadoff base runner. And that may be it for Eli Eds. With a left-hander throwing for Lincoln Memorial, the signal has been made, and Lincoln Memorial will go to the bullpen. Eds' day is over after a 4-pitch walk to begin the bottom of the 4th. We'll tell you about the new pitcher after this here on Flow Sports.
Hometown Ticketing makes it fast and easy to buy tickets on your school's website or in the new Hometown Fan app. It's simple. Just search for your school, buy your tickets, and they'll be right there in your account, ready to be scanned when you get to your event. Download the Hometown Fan app today.
I chose LMU because I wanted doors to open for me. For my future to have endless possibilities. To know I could become anything I wanted to be. Objection, Your Honor. I always wanted to say that. So whether I wanted to be a veterinarian, a high school teacher, let's turn to page 32, or a successful dentist, I knew LMU would help me get there. All I had to do was open the door.
Justin Haywood summons a left-hander from his bullpen here in the bottom of the 4th inning, nobody out. After the leadoff walk to begin this inning, he'll turn to Matthew Delph, who will make his first appearance during the South Atlantic Conference Tournament. Only 6 pitchers have needed to be utilized in the first 5 games for the Splitters. And he'll turn to Delph for the first time since April 22nd, when he recorded 5 outs against Emory and Henry, 5 outs that were all scoreless, as well he had 1 strikeout in that outing. He'll make his 12th appearance of the year, 7th in relief. He's made 5 starts, so a guy that can provide length. He went 6 innings back on March 20th against North Greenville, scattered 8 hits, gave up 2 runs. He's pitched well as of late. Over his last 7 innings, he's only allowed 2 runs and has 6 strikeouts to just 1 walk. I'll hope that he can provide a couple of zeros here in the middle parts of this championship game to allow the LMU bats to get going to help cut into the lead. 37 innings pitched. And the lefty will face the right-handed hitting Jesse Free, the DH. Immediately he'll pick over to Jolly at first, who's back safely on a dive. 1-3 win-loss record for the left-hander Delph. Redshirt sophomore from right down the road in Knoxville. He'll pick again over to Jolly. This one down and away to Kurth at first, but he's able to snare it. LMU, or Newberry, I should say, has thrived with runners on base. 3 of their 4 hits are with guys on board. Here's a strike called on a breaking pitch across the zone. Free showed bunt, decided to pull it back. Think about how that 3rd inning started. Hit by pitch, walk, strikeout, swinging. Both guys end up stealing 2nd and 3rd as this fastball goes inside. 1-1. And then Braylon Marine with a smash to right center field. The triple, he ends up scoring on the play. It's a 3-run inning. An inning that only needed one hit to score the 3 runs. Runner takes off. This ball is going to hang up, though, for Keene. Can it be a double play? It will. Great effort. Andrew Keene charges in. The hit and run was on for the Wolves. But that line drive to right holds up for the right fielder Keene to make the play. And he throws out the runner Jolly at first for the double play. Big time defensive play. If that ball gets down, Jolly's at third base. Runners are on the corners and no one is out in this inning. Instead, clear the bases. And there's 2 outs. And the 9-hitter Jamar Lugo steps in, shows bunt, takes strike 1. Left-hander can work into his windup now for the first time after having to enter and work from the stretch immediately. Pitch was in the dirt. Lugo checked his swing. Didn't go around. Ball 1. 1-1 line of the pitch is lifted out towards straightaway center. Goda stands underneath it, squeezes it into his mitt. Inning over. Well, the leadoff 4-pitch walk. Delph gets a line drive double play. And then Lugo flies out. We're through 4. Newberry 5, LMU 1 here on Flow Sports. We get ready to start the top of the 5th. 9-1-2 set to face Tyler Chinpire here in this 5th inning. Righty quickly works and a ground ball to third. Gloved by Felez and his throw across in time to Gibson. 1 pitch, 1 ground ball out to start the 5th. Goda now 0 for 2. Back to the top of the order for Chris Hall. Top of this Lincoln Memorial order has been good all season. They were good in the Game 1 victory. Hall, Bow, and Bowles 1, 2, and 3 in the order combined for 6 hits in that Game 1 victory. But they're 0 for 6 combined at the plate here in Game 3. As Chinpire drops a breaking pitch in for a strike. They need these 3 guys, Hall, Bowen, and Bowles, to help set the table for the heart of the order. Get the Splitters offense rolling. Ball and a strike as Chinpire winds and delivers. Swing and a miss. Nice break on the offering from Chinpire. Strike 2. Chinpire's been in the groove. Here's the 1-2. Hall went down, checked his swing. Third base umpire says that he did not go around. Julius Green up the line, manning third. Says Hall was able to check up. Yep, he did, certainly. 2-2. Fouled back Scared a fan right behind home plate. Made him flinch. As Hall stays alive at 2-2. Right-hander Chin Pyre, a sophomore from Jupiter, Florida, has provided Russ Triplett with a nice start so far. Line drive through the right side, base hit. LeBron will have to track this down before it gets to the warning track. Hall wants two, the throw, a perfect one. Hall out at second, LeBron, a laser from the warning track, out number 2. Thought it was a little risky with Hall wanting extra bases, trying to be aggressive. He hit it well, but LeBron tracked it down well and had a perfect throw. Marine was waiting for Hall. Perfectly executed. LeBron did it with his bat in Game 2 earlier today. He had 3 hits. This time, he does it with his arm. 5 hits total in this championship series as Bowen takes high for ball 1. 1-0 popped up in the infield. Jolly back. That ends the inning. Excellent defense from Newberry. LeBron with the highlight reel play. It goes down as a 1-2-3 fifth. And Newberry tries to play add-on as we head to the bottom half of the 5th. In the championship game, winner take all here on Flow Sports.
The NCAA sponsors 90 national championships each year, none of which could happen without officials. There is an urgent need for sports officials across the country as they are retiring 4 times faster than they are coming in, leaving shortages at all levels of sport. The NCAA recognizes the importance of officiating on the student-athlete experience and is dedicated to the recruitment and retention of new officials for all sports. There are many great reasons to become an official. Stay in shape and get paid to do so. Meet new people and build relationships within a tight-knit community. Give back to the sport you love by creating a fair atmosphere and upholding the integrity of the game. Say yes to officiating. Visit ncaa.org/say yes to officiating for more information on how to get started.
Matthew Delph goes back to work for Lincoln Memorial here in the bottom of the 5th inning. What is a 5-1 game? Top half of this inning seemed like maybe Lincoln Memorial was going to threaten in the inning. But instead, the highlight reel play from Jacob LeBron out there in right field helps end that top of the 5th. Chimpire gets the pop out to end the frame. And the top of the order set to face the reliever Delph with Donovan Ford leading off the inning. He's 0 for 1, drew a walk in the 3rd. Ended up coming around to score on that Marine triple to right center. Ball 2 now on Donovan Ford. To a wind for Delph and the pitch home. Inside low ball 3. He's missed 3 times to begin this 5th inning. There's a strike on the inside corner. 3-1. Ford looking to try to extend his hitting streak that now is at 8 games, and he won't be able to do it this time because he draws a 5-pitch walk. Pair of walks for Ford, and his speed is aboard. And now Jacob LeBron, who has had a phenomenal South Atlantic Conference tournament 2-for-1 here in the winner-take-all championship game, but 8 hits, including 5 of them here at Smoky Stadium in this championship series, as Delph goes to first. Another pick over. This one forces Kurth to kind of lean forward to grab. Still able to apply a tag, but Ford's back safely again. 5-1 game, 2 in the first for Newberry, 3 in the third. LMU's run came in the fourth. Outside corner strike to LeBron to begin his third at-bat. A walk back in the first that he later scored on, and a strikeout in that third inning. Came around to score on Jonathan Velez's single, infield single that was, 0-1. Right at the knees. Good spot from Delph. Hits the zone, and LeBron's in an 0-2 hole. Left-hander comes set. A look to Ford. He takes off. The throw down. Did he get him all the way through? He did. Nice play made. Bowen swipes a tag on the speedy Ford. And he's caught stealing. Just the 6th time this year he's been caught stealing. Hancock guns him down. Great effort here from Bowen. Had to come off the bag to field it and eventually make the tag. 1-2 pitches inside, ball 2. Seen some good defensive plays here in this 5th inning. Helping both Chinpire and Delph out on the mound. This ball's hit off the end of the bat. It's a fair ball. It hits the bag and gets away from Harvey. LeBron wants 2, the play. Not going to be in time. Jacob LeBron with an uncharacteristic double. This was not hit hard at all and barely stayed fair. And it goes right off the bag. It ricochets off the bag far enough away from Harvey to allow LeBron to kick it into drive and get to second base. How many times will you see that? A double to third for Jacob LeBron. 5th hit for the Wolves. His 9th in this South Atlantic Conference tournament. Delph works with a runner on base once again. And he fires a strike in to Braylon Marine. Marine 2 for 2, by far putting together his best game throughout this South Atlantic Conference tournament. A single and a triple. He lines one foul over top the dugout, and he's in an 0-2 hole now. RBI triple, 2 RBI triple there in the third. Came around to score on that same play. But the ball got away from Harvey at third on the error, the throwing error by Petzelt from second. Runner takes off, swing and a miss, strike 3. The ball bounces over top the bag away from Harvey. LeBron scores 6-1. Boy, Newberry has scored and had things happen in uncharacteristic ways all day. They strike out Marine, but the ball takes a bad, awkward bounce for Harvey to field. It gets into left field. LeBron quickly back to his feet. He scores at 6-1. That's the pressure this team will put you on. This Newberry roster, they're so aggressive. They run the bases well. Grounder to first. Nice backhand from Kurth. Can Delph get to the bag? He did get there before Gibson. Inning over. Nice play from Kurth at first. The backhand fires it to Delph, who outruns Gibson to the first base bag to end the 5th. 6-1. Marine strikes out. LeBron heads up base running, and Newberry is back in front by 5 runs. We're through 5. It's the Wolves 6, LMU 1 here in the championship game.
Sure, we've been around a while. 171 years to be exact. Founded on the banks of a creek. This creek, Mossy Creek. We know the power of a liberal arts-based Christian education and the tremendous potential of what can be found on this campus, within this community. We are found here and here and here and here and also here in the classroom, on the field. We are adventurers, dreamers, believers, passionate and compassionate, curious and clever, driven by a common purpose towards a common goal.
We are.
We are.
We are.
We are.
We are family on a journey of discovery.
I found my passion. I found my calling.
I found family.
I found a way to lead. I found a place to call my own.
I found purpose.
There's something for everyone.
We are.
We are.
We are Carson-Newman.
What will you find?
Lincoln Memorial finds itself in another 5-run hole. They trailed 5-0 after 3. They got a run back in the 4th, but they give it back here in the 5th. As we head to the top of the 6th inning, 3, 4, and 5. Due up, and Carson Bulls take strike 1 from Tyler Chinpire. Bulls 0 for 2 here in this 3rd game. 2 pop outs, and he flares one to right. LeBron signals he's got it. He's there, makes the catch, 1 gone. Bulls now 0 for 3. Now Andrew Keene, who's been LMU's hottest hitter here in this winner-take-all game 3. 2 hits, both singles in the 2nd and 4th innings. First pitch. Breaks in there, nice offering from Chinpire for strike 1. 5 1/3 for the sophomore. 5 hits, a run, just the 1 walk and the 3 strikeouts. There's a swing and a miss, strike 2. Done a good job to keep these LMU hitters off balance. Splitters have not hit the baseball relatively well. Here's a quick pitch, and he drilled Keene in the back. That was not his normal windup. He went quick, maybe trying to catch Keene off guard, and he drilled him in the back, right on that left shoulder. And now the umpires, well, let's see, maybe Keene had a word or two for Chinpire, who went really quick on Keene and hit him. Now we'll have a mound visit after the hit by pitch here with 1 out in the top of the 6th inning. Keene reaches. He's been aboard all 3 times here in this championship game. It gives way to Caston Harvey with 1 out here in the 6th inning. It looks like Keene had something to say to Chinpire as he took off his shin guard. Just wondering what it was with the quick pitch. And then the dugout, I think, said something to Keene, who was like, I'm not trying to cause anything. I'm just wondering maybe what was going on with the quick pitch. Regardless, Keene's at first. And Caston Harvey will step in. There's a pick over to first. It's one thing Chinpire has done well throughout his start today. He has controlled the base runners, has let them know he will keep them close as he picks back over again for the 2nd time with Keene aboard. Righty sets, he'll pitch to Harvey for the first time, and miss outside for ball 1. Well, if you're the Splitters, you truly can't get all the runs back in this deficit at once. You gotta chip away pitch by pitch. You get on the stretch in these final 4 innings. Grounder to third, Velez has got it to second for 1. Not gonna get the 3rd out in the 2nd of the double play. throw from Lugo, bounce to Gibson. Good hustle from Harvey up the line, able to beat out the throw. But Newberry is able to get the lead runner, and there is 2 outs in the inning. Two outs for Ryan Kurth. As Chimpire goes back to work, and this ball is driven out to left field. Back to the wall. Faircloth is going to watch this leave the yard. A 2-run bomb for Ryan Kurth. A much-needed answer for the Splitters. And it comes off the bat of Ryan Kurth. His 10th bomb of the year. And it's 6-3. A pitch that hangs over top of the strike zone. And Kurth delivers. A much-needed boost of energy for the Splitters dugout. And they'll go back to work with 2 outs in the inning with Mitch Petzel. Good drive. Faircloth was already playing back at the warning track with 2 outs and ran out of room. That ball sailed out of here at Smoky Stadium in left center. 6-3 game. The Splitters have now out-hit Newberry, but trail by 3. Petzel delivers one to left. Back-to-back dingers for the Splitters. It's 6-4. 2 pitches, 2 dingers. A 2-run deficit now for LMU. How about Petzel? Just his 2nd of the year. The Splitters have gone back-to-back, and they've got plenty to cheer about. Another pitch that hangs up in the zone, and you saw it from the dugout behind Petzel on that replay. They knew as soon as it left the bat it was going to go bye-bye. A 3-run 6th inning, and the Splitters still want more. Jared Hancock steps in. Chimpire back to work, and Wisely probably was a little nervous to throw a 3rd consecutive pitch in the zone. Bounces that breaking ball away for ball 1. Calm O'Shea is throwing for Newberry, a right-hander, as Hancock fouls one back for strike 1. Well, Chimpire had been rolling, and you think back to this inning, if Harvey doesn't sprint up the line at first, that could have been an inning-ending double play. Instead, he beats it out, gives Kurth a chance. He homers, Petzel homers, and it's a 2-run game. Hancock takes a breaking pitch across the plate for strike 2, 1-2, with 2 outs here in the top of the 6th inning. Pitch is outside, 2-2. Hancock 0 for 1 today, a walk back in the 3rd and a fly ball out in the 4th inning. It's an LMU team that entering this championship game only had 7 home runs in the 5 games. Pretty solid tally as this pitch just outside. And the count is full. They go back-to-back here in the 6th inning. Righty ready, the payoff. High fly ball to right. LeBron ranging toward the line, and in fair territory, he makes the catch. Inning over. How about 2 2-out bombs on back-to-back pitches? Kurth, Petzel combined to go yard. It's 6-4 as we head to the bottom of the 6th inning here on Flow Sports in the championship game.
I just did not have a lot of stability.
I was facing foreclosure, not working at all, didn't have any money.
I could not go to school and work, so I found Mars Hill.
The experience here has been so wonderful.
It's been amazing.
I was able to have the full-time hours without the full-time load.
They are just incredibly supportive.
And Mars Hill is very affordable.
Mars Hill University Adult and Graduate Studies, education that moves mountains.
I will be the first in my family to graduate with my bachelor's degree.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division 2, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
LMU has a little bit of momentum here in the 6th inning after what was a 6-1 deficit with 2 outs there in the top of the 6th. Ryan Kurth and Mitch Petzelt combined to go yard on back-to-back pitches. Both the first pitch of their at-bat. They soar it out to left field, make it a 6-4 game, and now Matthew Delph will work out of the bullpen in relief with his team trailing by just 2 runs. Velez, Faircloth, Jolly due up here for Newberry as we enter this bottom of the 6th inning. Andrew Rogers, glad to welcome you back here to Smoky Stadium, final game of this championship series and what has been a very competitive series. As Velez takes low for ball 1. Both these teams have battled. Delph winds, delivers a 1-0. That's popped up right side in foul ground. Kurth over on the dirt. Makes the catch. 1 out. 2 really competitive games, and the third game has certainly started to live up to the first 2. LMU won that game 1 11-5, but it was a close one throughout, and it took a 4-run ninth to help create that 6-run cushion for the Splitters. Newberry wins game 2 to force us to go to this winner-take-all game, winning 5-4 earlier today. They've all been competitive. They've all been close. We've seen highlight reel plays, both offensively and defensively. But who will make enough and more of those plays down the stretch of this game? After ball 1, Faircloth lines one foul right side into the seats onto the concourse. Strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Bottom of the 6th. Delph back to work as his sign from the catcher Hancock. And drops in a breaking ball for strike 2. Much different feel now for Delph, entering with a 5-run deficit. And now works in a 2-run game. Lefty into his windup again, the 1-2. Line foul, late swing from Faircloth to stay alive. Faircloth, 7 hits in the South Atlantic Conference tournament in 19 tries. Now 21 tries. He's 0 for 2 here in the championship game. Winner-take-all game. Takes outside, ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2-run game here at Smoky Stadium. Lights are on. What's turned out to be a beautiful Monday evening here at the park. Delph misses away. Back-to-back pitches that miss outside, run the count full, 3-2. Delph, the payoff. Line drive, left field base hit. Faircloth has another knock, his 8th of the South Atlantic Conference tournament. And the Wolves have a 1-out base runner. Good rope from the left fielder that had to watch 2 balls go over his head and over the fence in the top half of this 6th inning. He singles to left. And now Rhett Jolly. Delph picks over. It's a close play. Faircloth caught. He's picked off at first. Slick move from the lefty, Delph. And Faircloth will head back to the dugout. 2 outs. Well, Newberry has made some winning plays. That is not one of them. Fine pickoff. Faircloth maybe got sleeping over there at first. Strike one. Think back to LeBron's gun down of Hall trying to go for extra bases in the fifth. That was a huge winning defensive play. Certainly if Newberry in this game gets a little bit closer, they'll like to have at least that runner back aboard in this seventh inning, or in this sixth inning, I should say. 2 outs, though, for Delph. A 1-1 pitch. Ground ball to third. It stays fair. Harvey's throw across. The first baseman, Kurth, lost it. It goes over his head. Jolly's into second base with 2 outs. Boy, I think Kurth lost that in the lights on Harvey's throw. It looked like a routine play for the first baseman, but he had no clue where the ball was. Wow. Yeah, he had no idea. Took his eyes off of it, ducked, and the ball goes in to foul ground. Jolly to second. Third error.
You know, he might have lost that in the sun, too. That's where the sun sets over in that direction, and the trajectory of the throw was so high that he probably just lost it.
Ground ball left side. Harvey snares it, misses the tag. Kurth sees this one, inning over. Oh, LMU's third error does not come back to hurt them. Harvey makes yet another play at the hot corner to end the frame. We're through 6. It's 6-4. The Splitters are within 2 as we head down the stretch in the championship game here on Flow Sports.
I pledge.
I pledge.
I am an NCAA student athlete.
And I pledge to be a champion of unity
on my team, on my campus, and in my community.
I pledge to embrace differences and strive for inclusion and collaboration.
I pledge to stand against racism, hate, and discrimination.
I pledge to strive for love, care, and forgiveness.
I pledge to stand against silence, deceit, and obscurity.
I pledge to strive for dialogue, truth, and understanding.
I pledge to stand against fear and doubt.
I pledge to strive for trust and belief in one another.
I pledge to stand against complacency and stagnancy.
I pledge to strive for change and growth. I commit to supporting my fellow student athletes in all circumstances that impact them.
I commit to both choosing unity personally and encouraging it for all.
I pledge these things because we are stronger together.
United as one.
Six-4 game as we head down the stretch in the final 3 innings. The Splitters have battled back after the 3-run 6th inning. They'll try to add on as we head to the top of the 7th inning. Here to take you through at least the final 3 innings of the South Atlantic Conference Championship Series, Michael Watright.
Thank you very much, Andrew. 6-4 ball game. The number 1 seed in the South Atlantic Conference tournament, looking for its first championship since 1999. And Tyler Chinpire goes back to work here in this 7th inning. 9 outs to work with. If you're LMU, you just scored 3 times last time up. And Colin Goda swings at the first pitch and fouls it off. Well, things have gotten interesting here in the deciding game of this 3-game series. Newberry led by 5 on 2 occasions, and it's down to 2. The 0-1. Well outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, Lincoln Memorial, as I've mentioned throughout this weekend, they do not get blown out. 1 loss by 4 runs. Everything else has been closer than that, and Chinpire plunks Goda, and it's going to bring the tying run to the plate here in the 7th inning. Well, Newberry was shut out of the NCAA tournament last year with 38 wins. Russell Triplett said the mindset and preparation has been different this year. And now, with 2 men loosening up in the bullpen, it appears as if the day is going to come to a close for Chinpire. And just has been the case with every starter we've seen this weekend. Gutty and gritty out there on the mound. And Chinpire, 2 pitches with 2 outs. Turned what was a great outing into a solid outing. Banks Faulkner out there having a conversation. There is a left-hander and a right-hander throwing. O'Shea was the one that Andrew mentioned to you. Ethan LeBron has started to get loose down in the bullpen. He started game 1. And indeed, they will turn it over to the bullpen. So a right-hander coming out. That's Colm O'Shea. We'll tell you about him here more in a second. 6-4. Newberry leads. Tying run coming to the plate here on Flow Sports.
Number 32, Kyle Hornsby.
Inside the 30. Touchdown. Michaela burns it. An incredible finish by Hall.
The NCAA and its member schools offer nearly 500,000 college athletes a path to go pro in something other than sports. Learn more at ncaa.org/opportunity.
In NCAA Division II, student athletes leave a lasting impression on their communities. That's because Division II student athletes want to make a difference and truly be part of their surrounding communities. Through community engagement, thousands of student athletes from various backgrounds interact with community members who view them as role models. This interaction leaves a positive and perhaps even life-changing impression on all those involved. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Well, indeed it is Colm O'Shea making the appearance out of the bullpen. This will be his 18th outing of the season. 6'6", 230-pound redshirt junior from Sunnyside, New York. He has not pitched since April 22nd. Gave up 4 hits and a run against Lenore-Ride. Prior to that, had gone 3 straight scoreless outings. And his numbers for the season, 14 strikeouts, 9 walks, 22 1/3 innings pitched. And that is where Newberry turns its sights to here in the 7th inning after Colin Goda was plunked by the first pitch of the frame. Or the third pitch, rather, of the frame. And Chinpire done, 6+ innings, 7 hits, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. 4 runs so far on the day. So O'Shea will go to work in the deciding game of this 3-game series. The right-hander will deal with Chris Hall, who's got a hit in 3 trips. Right-hander pitches, and Hall takes low for ball 1. Well, great to have you on board with us. Hope you've been with us the entirety of the weekend. Boy, has it been a fun one as well this weekend. Despite a lengthy delay yesterday, deciding game tonight. 1-0. Just missed outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Goda has 13 steals at first, and he draws a throw. Certainly, LMU, with 9 outs to work with, will get runs in any means possible. 2-0. Hall spikes it down the left field line. This is slicing into the corner, but out of play and foul. Got a pretty good piece of that one down the line. And he fouled it off. Two balls and a strike. O'Shea peering down the barrel at the sign. Right-hander pitches, and that misses outside. 3 balls and 1 strike. You talk about a team that's conditioned to be in these positions, and that is certainly Lincoln Memorial. 3-1 the count. O'Shea pitches. Hall late on one, gets it off the edge of the barrel and fouls it back. And with the count now full, does Goda take off at all? Will LMU be aggressive? Certainly don't want to run out of the inning if Hall can't put the ball in play. 2-run game here in the 7th. 3-2 the count. The runner is not going, and Hall takes high ball 4. And the tying run aboard here for LMU in the 7th. A hit batter and a walk. And Cameron Bowen stepping to the plate. Bowen 0 out of 3. And I would have to imagine that Lincoln Memorial will try to get a bunt down here in this situation. Hit batter and a walk. And here comes Cameron Bowen. Corner infield pinching in, middle infield back. 6-4 Newberry clings to the lead now. First pitch. This is inside. There's no sign of a bunt right there by Bowen. Sometimes you get that when a pitcher isn't throwing a lot of strikes. You don't want to give them an out. Right out of the gates. LeBron continues to throw down in the bullpen. 1-0 the count. The right-hander pauses and looks back the runner out at second base. One and 0 the count. O'Shea pitches. Bowen loops a liner out to second. Picked up by Lugo. Throw to first. High. Gibson snares it and lands on the first base bag. A line out double play ball. Bowen a sinking shot to second. Hall got greedy despite the fact the throw was a little high. Gibson had the time to get back onto the bag. And just like that, 2 outs and a runner at second. And here comes Colin Goda. In second base, and Carson Bowles at the plate, and he takes a fastball inside for ball one. Bowles 0 out of 3 so far in this ball game. 6-4 top-seeded Newberry on top. They've led all day today. Right-hander pitches, and a breaking ball is in there for strike one. 1-1. We were tied at 3 and tied at 4 in game one. Newberry scored 2 in the first, 3 in the third, and led 5-0 and 6-1 in this one. It's down to 2. 1-1. Rolled out towards short to his left. Marine gobbles it up, scoops, throws to first, and ends the inning. Newberry fired up after that one. The first 2 reached via free passes, but nobody scores. And at stretch time, Newberry leads it 6-4, looking for the title in the winner-take-all game.
Camera.
Oh, at me. Okay. Let's get started. When you're first looking at where to go to school, what were you searching for?
Well, when I first started searching, I knew I wanted to go to a place where I wouldn't feel limited.
Where I wouldn't just grow as an athlete, but I'd also learn everything that I needed to know to launch my own business.
Somewhere that would truly prepare me for the real world, for what I was going to do next.
Where I could grow as an artist and develop my craft.
I wanted to go to a place where I wouldn't be just another number, a place where people really knew me.
Where over time, I would become a leader.
Somewhere that would show me all that I can be.
Somewhere that believed in me.
Somewhere that after I left, I would be proud of the person that I became.
And I found that place
at Coker.
LMU gets the first 2 runners on base in the 7th. A line-out double play and a ground-out prevents the Splitters from putting a dent into a 2-run deficit. And now the regular season champs, Newberry, with a chance perhaps add some insurance in the last of the 7th inning. Jomar Lugo 0 for 1 with a hit by pitch in this one. Digs in against Delph, and the first pitch from the left-hander misses low. Delph so far 3 innings, 1 unearned run, and he's thrown now 34 pitches. 1-0 the count. The left-hander tosses, and that one clings to the bottom of the zone for a strike. 1-1. Well, Newberry has played in 2 tournament finals. That was 2019 and 1999. The 1-1. In there for a strike, 1-2. They've won just 1 championship. Entered the week the number 2 ranked team in the region, behind North Greenville. The 1-2. Lugo flings it down the first base line, foul. One ball and 2 strikes. Delph pitches. That one missed high and tight. Well, as you would expect at the final game of any conference baseball tournament, there are a lot of bodies in the bullpens on both sides. The 2-2. Lugo fouls off of first. The count holds at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Well, all hands completely on deck for both teams. Anybody that needs an out, if they're good enough, they're going to try to go. The 2-2. Lugo hanging around. Bounces one off of the plate and then off of his body. And the count holding here at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two and 2 the count. And here's the left-hander's pitch. Lugo grounds it back up the middle to his left. Bowen grabs it on the outfield grass. Throws off of the right foot. Plucked out of the dirt by Kurth. Excellent play on the front end by Bowen. And Kurth to stretch and scoop it up. That was a really hard play back up the middle. And Lugo runs well. And they get him by a full step to get the out. And that's how this 7th inning starts for Newberry. And Donovan Ford, who has walked twice, will try to extend his hitting streak. Left-hander pitches, and he misses down and in. 1 ball and no strikes. When you think about game number 2 of this series, Newberry jumped out to a 3-0 lead. LMU clawed back. The 1-0. Bounces up there, 2-0. And the way that they gave up what proved to be the winning run. A walk with 1 out, a stolen base, and a throw that sizzled into center field to allow the runner to go to third. And then a pass ball let Faircloth score what proved to be the game winner in the 9th. 2-0. Again, grabs a bunch of dirt on its way through. 3-0. Everything magnified at this juncture of the season. 3 balls and no strikes to Donovan Ford. And Delph gets one on the inside corner. 3-1. Well, Jacob LeBron is in the on-deck circle. That would be a left-on-left matchup. The pitch. That misses just high and away. And Ford has walked for the 3rd time in the game. And that is uncharacteristic for Donovan Ford. Not necessarily a free swinger per se, but entering today, he had drawn 23 walks on the season. But you put him on base, and you swing the door open. Here's LeBron, the left-hand hitter, not showing bunt, taking a strike on the inside corner, 0-1. 1 out. Newberry leads it 6-4. Ford has another steal, so he's got 44 now on the season. 5 in the tournament. LeBron takes a fastball on the outer edge for a strike. It's 0-2, and LeBron had something to say to the home plate umpire, Bobby Dunnigan. And Dunnigan didn't like the way that LeBron reacted and took his mask off and had something to say to him. 0-2 the count. Delph looks at Ford. He pitches with a slide step, and LeBron flies it to left. Hall camps out. He's there slapping the glove on his left thigh before reaching up and making the catch. Ford retreats back to first base. And here's Braylon Marine. He's hit the ball hard twice today, a couple hits to show for it. 2 runs scored and 2 RBIs. Braylon Marine, and he has been absolutely wonderful these last 2 seasons. And once that postseason success, lefty against right-hand batter, the pitch. Marine fouls it straight back, strike 1. Coach Triplett said that Marine started his career behind an All-American shortstop. Colin Allman was in front of him, had good falls after they signed him out of New York. But he's their hardest worker, and when your best player is your hardest worker, that means a lot to the program. And the biggest question that Triplett had to ask, how do the best players handle the biggest moments? The 0-1. They call a balk. Well, Delph is trying to keep Ford close. And because he's trying to do that, he's called for a balk. I don't know if we saw enough on the replay to decipher, but perhaps he didn't come set long enough. 1 strike and nothing to count. Delph pitches. Marine out in front of a changeup that fell off the map. Outside, 0-2. Delph looking to keep the deficit at 2 going to the 8th. Left-hander was getting ready, and then time was called. Well, Bobby Dunnigan jotting his notes down. And now the second base umpire, Gary Keller, is going to convene with the rest of his crew. What do you think, Andrew? You seem like you have a pretty good feel of this. What's going on here?
Not entirely certain, right? Because we had a swing and a miss by Marine, and nothing happened after that. No clue what that was.
That's
any guess from you?
No chance.
No chance. Maybe they just needed a break, a reset.
Nevertheless, the count's at 0 balls and 2 strikes. Here to Marine. Delph now ready to go. Ford takes off. Marine rolls one slowly, first base side. Barehanded by Delph. Slides to both knees and throws to first to get Marine and end the inning. That is a good play by Delph, because if he doesn't make that, Ford is scoring. Instead, he makes the solid defensive play on a slow roller. Marine retired. Newberry strands a runner. And we go to the 8th. 6-4, Newberry on top here on Flow Sports.
I chose LMU because I wanted doors to open for me. For my future to have endless possibilities. To know I could become anything I wanted to be. Objection, Your Honor. I always wanted to say that. So whether I wanted to be a veterinarian, a high school teacher, let's turn to page 32. or a successful dentist. I knew LMU would help me get there. All I had to do was open the door.
Newberry has seemingly been in control for this entire game, but it's just a two-run affair here in the 8th. A conference champion will be crowned with a series tied at 1 apiece. Heart of the order for LMU up. Andrew Keene digs in, and O'Shea's first pitch is on the inner half, right around the thighs for strike 1. Keene, 2 singles, and he's been hit by a pitch. He's been aboard all 3 times after going 0 for 4 in game 2. 1 strike pitch. Off the edge of the barrel, rolling up the line, picks up a lot of dirt, hugs the stripe, and goes foul as it goes into the mitt of Gibson. Well, that had a little bit of English to it, and you see it from time to time. If it hits the barrel properly, it might start foul and come back fair, and Gibson did a good job staying with it as it rolled foul. O'Shea gets ahead, though, at 0-2. O'Shea has the sign quickly. And the big right-hander kicks the leg and pitches and misses inside with the off-speed pitch, 1-2. O'Shea, his longest outing of the season, came against Carson-Newman on March 25th, 2 2/3 inning. The 1-2 pitch. This is high and tight, 2-2. So if he were to finish this game, he'd have a season-long outing as he's thrown an inning, came in to clean up for Chinpire in the 7th. Here's the pitch, and it's a ground ball hit out towards short. Marine picks it up between the wickets, and a sidearm toss over to first base. Retires Keene for the first time today. Well, there is a left-hander and a right-hander throwing in the Newberry, or check that, 2 left-handers. Ethan LeBron is one, and Bryce Peterson the other. So with 1 out, nobody on, Caston Harvey comes in, and he had one of the bigger plays of this ball game his last time up. 6-4 Newberry in the 8th, the pitch. Harvey takes a strike. With 1 out, he had a grounder to third base. Lugo couldn't get the throw over to first in time because Harvey hustled down the line, and that led to back-to-back home runs. 0-1. Misses just below the knees. 1 ball, 1 strike. Kurth, a 2-run shot. Petzelt, a solo blast, and that's why we sit in a 2-run game here in the 8th with hardware on the line. The 1-1. Line foul down the right field line. It'll reach the bleachers as O'Shea gets ahead of the ball in 2 strikes. Well, at this point in time, you have a lot of guys walking around. Well, one of the times that Newberry, or check that, LMU has won the championship in this ballpark, there was some high drama. The 1-2. Foul back. At 1 ball and 2 strikes. Harvey awaits as O'Shea comes set. A right-hander pitches, and that misses down and away. 2-2. Go back to the 2018 conference tournament. LMU beat Carson-Newman 9-2, Tusculum 10-7, and Anderson 6-4. Here's the 2-2 pitch. That's low and outside. The count is now 3 balls and 2 strikes. On Championship Monday, they lost Game 1 to Catawba to set up a winner-take-all ball game. And the high drama of a 3-run home run from Tyler Adams in the 9th tied the score at 7. I think that came with 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Bouncing ball third base side, foul, and we'll hold it 3-2. Check that. It actually came with nobody out. Adams hit the 3-run home run. It tied the score at 7 apiece. We went to 11 that day before LMU scored twice in the top of the 11th to win it 9-7. The pitch. Harvey spoils another one, fouling it off at first. Count holding at 3 balls and 2 strikes. That's when Ethan Elliott came out of the bullpen, threw 58 more pitches after he had thrown over 100 earlier in the tournament. 3 shutout innings for the Splitters to go back-to-back championships. The 3-2, up and away, ball 4. Harvey again. He was behind in the count, and he works the walk. And the tying run coming to the plate for a man that's got 10 of them this season and 3 in the conference tournament, Ryan Kurth. 6-4. Newberry leads it. LMU trying to match the lowest seed to ever win the championship. Newberry fans with a little bit of dance moves, but perhaps some nervy times in the dugout. O'Shea pitches, and Kurth rolls it out to second base. Lugo circles, picks to second base for the out there to first. That's a double play. That looked like there was no chance to get 2, but Marine had an absolute bazooka from short to turn it. 4-6-3. The twin killing rolls up, and we go to the last of the 8th. Newberry will try to add on, leading at 6-4 in the winner-take-all championship game.
Just a little scrape.
What if you let go of fear?
Let's get back on the bike.
Let go of doubt. Live for the now. Follow your passions. Challenge your thinking. Learn something new. Whether that's in the classroom, on the field, or in your service to others. At Wingate, you can explore close to 40 majors. Get the faculty support you need to thrive with an average class size of less than 25. Experiment, engage, push harder, and turn your enthusiasm for learning into the power to make a difference.
Newberry leads 6-4 as we go to the last of the 8th. One last chance for Newberry to add on to this margin. And it's Henry Gibson to start it off. He's 0 out of 3 here in this one. Hit a home run in game number 1 last night in that rain-soaked ball game. And today's turned out to be a great day for baseball. Left-hander Delph back to work, and he misses low and outside with a breaking pitch. Eli Ed started it, 3+ innings of work for him, 5 earned. Delph, 1 unearned run in 4 innings. And the 1-0 pitch. That zips on the inner half for a strike. David Bryan Ellison has started to get heated up again. He's been a busy man, but hasn't pitched so far this weekend. Here's the 1-1. Gibson late on a fastball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. One ball, 2 strikes, the pitch. And Gibson flies it to left. Hall coming on, dives, cannot come up with it. Gibson will stop at first base, and that'll be a base hit for Henry Gibson. And here comes Justin Haywood out of the dugout. I think he's going to make a change here and bring in one of the top relievers in the conference. official decision has been made by Coach Haywood. Now he points. So we'll tell you about the new pitcher. Newberry with the leadoff man aboard here in the 8th, leading 6-4 in the championship game.
Tuscaloosa family.
Snuck back within 2 runs at 6-4. They've had chances in the last 2 innings. First 2 reached in the 7th inning, and then a double play ball, a line out and a base running gaff. In the 8th inning, after a 1-out walk, another double play. Great defense from Newberry. Had the fans on the Newberry side yelling, "Corn dogs for all these people." And some excitement from the Newberry side after some of these great defensive plays. It's not just in game number 3 of this series. They closed out the game in game number 1 this afternoon, in game 2 of the series, with a 6-4-3 game-clinching double play after a leadoff single. So it will be David Bryan Ellison. And he comes out to work with a runner at first base in Henry Gibson. And nobody out in the bottom of the 8th inning in a 2-run game. 6-4. Righty against the right-hand batter with Jonathan Velez at the plate. And he swings at the first pitch, pops it up first base side. This should stay close to the seats, and it is not grabbed by Walker Hennon. It looked like maybe for a second it was going to get into that first row of the seats. Hennon went over there, and the ball kind of came back just a little bit, and Hennon unable to adjust. He's the new first baseman. Right-hand pitcher, the 0-1. Bouncer, first base side on the bunt. It'll be picked up by Ellison. Throws to first, and Velez just retired by a half a step. It is a sacrifice bunt, 1-3. It gets Gibson to second base. And now here's Cade Faircloth, who's 1 out of 3. Faircloth scored the winning run in Game 2 of the championship series. Ellison pauses, he pitches, and that's high and tight on a fastball for ball 1. Mount Olive, the champions of Conference Carolinas, a 15th league tournament championship crown, and despite appearing in 7 consecutive tournament finals, it's their first championship since 2017, and they were unbelievable in that tournament. The 1-0 to Faircloth, well outside. 2-0. 13 home runs as a team, 65 runs. How about Landon Choboy? The MVP of the tournament, had 5 homers and 21 RBIs in the tournament alone. 4+ RBIs in each of the last 4. Ellison misses high, 3-0 the count to Faircloth. Georgia Southwestern and Young Harris will duke it out in the Peach Belt Championship starting Friday at 6 p.m. Georgia Southwestern, the regular season champs, going 3-0 over the weekend, while Young Harris needed to beat USC Aiken twice. 3-0 pitch. Across the belt for a strike. Held on to win 5-4 after they'd lost to the Pacers the day before, and then 12-4 to win its regional opportunity. And those clubs will meet in a best-of-3 series starting on Friday. 3-1 the count here to Faircloth. Right-hander pitches, and that stays high and tight. No question about this one. It's ball 4. And there's 2 aboard with 1 out. NCAA selection show slated for Sunday night at 10 p.m. 7 from the Southeast. The top seed will host the 4 and the 5 and get a bye, while the 2 seed will host the 3, the 6, and the 7 and take the number 7 seed on. Well, certainly teams really keeping an eye on things, and it's going to be really interesting to see how things pan out around the region. 2 men on, 1 out. Here's Rhett Jolly, and he swings the first pitch, grounds it up the middle. Bowen under his glove, into center field, around third base Gibson. He comes to the plate. Newberry tacks on much-needed insurance and leads 7-4. For a second, that looked like it was a tailor-made double play ball, and I think that it was. If Bowen makes that play cleanly, they can turn that thing over in turn 2. Brody Winter is going to pinch hit now. Well, Dusty Baker won the World Series with the Astros. He always said, I want to get it out of bloop and blast range. That's what Newberry has just done by going ahead by 3. And with 2 on, here is Winter. And the first pitch to him hits him. Winter, a .303 hitter, won't even have a chance to swing the stick. He gets plunked. They officially roll that last play an error. E6, no RBI. Gibson scoring on it. And that is the 4th error of the game for the league's top fielding team. Faircloth to third, Jolly to second, and Winter at first base with Jomar Lugo coming up. Right-hander pitches, and that's up and away. That's a ball. Well, Wingate had 5 errors in the opening round finale against Wingate. And Ellison, who's given up runs now in 4 of his last 6, has to keep it right here. Right-hander pitches, and that's up and away, and he's fallen in a 2-0 hole. Well, he's not throwing strikes right now. And that's normally not something that you have to worry about. He's only walked 13 this year in 32 2/3 innings pitched. And has a boatload of games where he didn't walk anybody. All right, he's 2-0. Misses below the knees, and it's 3 balls and no strikes. Well, when you're not around the zone very frequently, you don't get borderline calls from the umpire. 3 balls and no strikes. Right-hander has the sign. He needs one. He pitches, and he gets it on the inside corner to Lugo. 3-1. Well, Newberry can blow this thing open with a good piece of hitting here. 3-1 the count with the bases loaded and 1 out. The pitch. Lugo pops it up, shallow left. Hall circles. The runner at third base, Faircloth tags. Hall makes the catch. Here comes the runner to the plate. Hall's throw is up the first base line, and then it's dropped by the catcher, Hancock. So Faircloth scores. All the other runners move up, and Newberry has pushed this out to an 8-4 lead. Sac fly from Lugo. Faircloth in to score. Jolly to third. Winter to second base. And 2 critical runs here in the 8th. And now Donovan Ford will be the 7th man of the inning to come to the plate, and he's drawn 3 consecutive walks. An 8-4 game here in the 8th. The right-hander gets the sign and pitches, and Ford takes a strike at the knees. LMU has gone 18 consecutive losses by 4 or fewer runs. They lost 5-1 to Wingate. That is the only game in which they lost by more than 3 runs this year. The last time they lost by more than 4, you have to go back to April 23rd of 2022, a 14-4 setback against eventual tournament champ Lenoir-Rhyne. So a 2 men on and 2 outs. 1 strike and nothing to count here. Ellison has the sign and delivers. Ford squared to bunt, backs away, and it's up and away. It's even the count at a ball and a strike. Well, one of the things in the team meetings to start this year for Newberry was they had to play better in the tournament. The 1-1 pitch. Ford rips it out to short. Bowen makes a good grab here, even though he was shielded for a split second to end the inning. But Newberry gets 2 critical runs. They're 3 outs away from their first title since 1999. Can they pull it off? Or will LMU make the comeback? 8-4 as we go to the 9th in the championship game of the SAC Baseball Championships.
This is Catawba College, where you can feel at home for the next 4 years. This is where your tomorrow takes shape.
If you want to transform into the person you have the potential to be,
If you aspire to inspire the world around you and others, if you want to discover a sense of belonging and make it what you want, there's a place for you here.
Catawba College is waiting. Are you ready?
Excellence, integrity, care, curiosity. These are the values that define who we are. A community of thinkers, competitors, and achievers passionately pursuing the path of a purpose-driven life. Because at Lenoir-Rhyne University, we are called to greatness. We are LR.
Final 3 outs of the season for Lincoln Memorial. 8-4. Top-seeded Newberry lost last night's game that featured a 4.5-hour lightning delay. They won game 1 today, 5-4. And now ahead 8-4, and O'Shea will look to close this out. Lower third of the lineup. Petzelt at the plate. Swings and misses on a hefty cut to start off this sequence. Last at bat for Petzelt was a home run. Right-hander against right-hand batter. O'Shea delivers, and that's in there for another strike. This time bent the breaking ball in there. And they count it no balls and 2 strikes. The 0-2 pitch from O'Shea. Bounces up there. Count holds it, no balls and 2 strikes. Newberry 3 outs away from its second championship. The pitch is in there for strike 3 called. O'Shea gets the punch out. And Newberry a third of the way home. So with 1 out, nobody on, here's Jared Hancock. He's walked and flown to right twice. The pitch misses inside on a fastball. 1-0. Newberry It's into the NCAA tournament. They'll also face Tampa this weekend in a 3-game set at Newberry. Here's the 1-0. Right down the middle for a strike. It's 1-1. And Russell Triplett iterated several times. The postseason has started. The way that the schedule is played out, they have had to earn it the entirety of the way. And here comes the 1-1. And it's bounced foul off of the plate. And O'Shea gets ahead of the ball in 2 strikes. Well, to win these tournaments, sometimes you have to get performances from guys you might not expect. And that's exactly what's happening right now with O'Shea. Closing in on the longest outing of his season. And with a count at 1-2, he's ready to go to work here on Hancock. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Right-hander kicks the leg and fires, and it's a swing and a miss, strike 3. Back-to-back punch-outs for O'Shea, and Lincoln Memorial down to its final out. In the conference tournament championship game, Lincoln Memorial down to its final out. The 6th seed would match Lenore-Rhine from 2001 as the lowest seeds to ever win the championship. But Newberry is looking for its first since 1999. O'Shea pitches, and Goda lines one out to left center field. That'll drop in for a base hit. And Lincoln Memorial not done yet. Goda piles up his 4th hit of the tournament. 8th hit of the day. Each team with 8 of them. And fittingly, it'll be Chris Hall coming to the plate. What a season it has been for Hall as he has turned the script around after a slow start. He has been on base a boatload. 10 hits, now 11 hits in the tournament. 8 for Newberry in the 9th. O'Shea pitches, and Hall checks his swing and appeal down to third. Julius Green says no. He did not go. 1 ball and no strikes. Runner leads away from first base. Gibson plays behind him. And here's the 1-0. Hall takes a breaking ball low and outside. And the count moves to 2 balls and no strikes. O'Shea buckling down on the first base side of the slab. He delivers. And there's a strike, splitting the plate in half. 2-1. Chinpire started it and was solid through 6 innings. Gave up 4 earned with 3 strikeouts. Here's the 2-1. And Hall swings and misses on a pitch down and away. And now LMU down to its final out. And final strike. A 4-run lead for Newberry. The 2-2. Hall strikes out swinging. And for the first time since 1999, Newberry is the South Atlantic Conference Tournament champions. The longest drought in the history of the league is over. Go crazy in the Palmetto State. The regular season champs are on top of the tournament, coming back from a 1-0 deficit to beat LMU.
One, two. You hear me?
Newberry, the champions of the 2023 South Atlantic Conference Baseball Tournament. Andrew Rogers standing by with Russell Triplett with his post-game thoughts. Andrew.
Thanks, Michael. Coach, second ever baseball championship, first since 1999. You had to win 2 today to get it done. How did this group dig deep to get it done? Not once, but twice today.
Yeah, I'm so proud of them. We're tough on them. It's a great group of guys. They've worked hard. To see them celebrate like this makes it worth it. They've earned this, and we didn't play that well last night, but we got beat against a good team that was playing really well, and I like the way they responded today, and they were on a mission to try to win the tournament from the start of the year, so this was big for us.
Up and down throughout the lineup, it seemed like it was 1 through 9. Someone was contributing. Each pitcher that came into the game was a high and effective contributor. How important is that balance in a championship-like setting to be able to have so many different guys contribute?
I think that's what makes this group special is, we have the 2-time SAC Player of the Year on here, but I think he's the Player of the Year because we get contributions from everybody through the lineup. And then our pitching staff is getting better and better throughout the year. Faulkner does a great job with them. The guys stepped up. They pitched well in big moments, and they seem to like the moment. So hopefully they'll continue to work and get better, and as we continue to play and move on here.
You guys caused havoc on the bases in all 3 games. It was indicative there in Game 3 to help get some insurance, but to grab that early lead as well. How crucial is that to your team's success, not just on the bases, defensively you made really good plays as well?
Well, we did. I thought we took a nap for about 2 innings there in the 6th or 7th inning and made some mental mistakes, which is uncharacteristic for the group, and I think they got a little caught up in the moment. But the style we play, we tell them we're going to make some outs and do some dumb things on the bases, but we want to create havoc, we want to play aggressive, and we want to attack, and they certainly did that, and proud of the way they competed, proud of the way they ran the bases, and then guys stepped up and had some big at-bats in there in big situations to put the ball in play, and I think that's what makes this group who they are.
Coach, congratulations on the championship. Go celebrate with the guys.
Appreciate it. This is big for Newberry. Thank you.
You're welcome. Michael.
Andrew Rogers with the 3-time Conference Coach of the Year, Russell Triplett, and O'Shea putting the finishing touches on it. He ends up striking out the side in the 9th, and the celebration fully on for Newberry. They went 1-2 in last year's tournament, and they ended up coasting through the opening round. Now, 2 complete game efforts from starters, and then here, after losing last night by an 11-5 margin, bounced back, came back and won Game 2 of the series 5-4, and led by as many as 5 and pulled away to win it by an 8-4 margin here in Game number 3. And fans of this Newberry Ball Club, they have waited 24 seasons to do it. And they are back atop the South Atlantic Conference baseball world. And for the first time since 2014, the regular season conference champion is also the tournament champion outright. And they are crowned here inside of Smokies Stadium with the championship. Should hear from one of the stars of this LMU ball club, or Newberry Ball Club, rather, here in just a few moments. And Andrew Rogers is walking over there to track him down. Andrew Rogers standing by now with Jacob LeBron as Newberry captures the title. Andrew.
Thanks, Michael, here with the SAC Tournament MVP, Jacob LeBron. Jacob, you tally 10 hits. I think 6 or 7 of those came here at Smoky Stadium. What was working so well for you at the plate really throughout the entire tournament to help you have success and help have this team have so much success?
It's the type of game we play. It's the teammates around me. We work together. We play fast type of baseball. We execute. We just pass it to the next guy and get to the next guy. Stayed calm in the box. Got there early, attacked fastballs, and hit breaking balls, and when base runners were in scoring position when I had to.
That fast and hyper offensive attack that you talk about was on display throughout the tournament. You guys have done that all year. How has it helped this team be so successful, and how does that help create rhythm throughout your offense throughout the game?
And it just helps us stay in the moment. It helps us know that we're never out of a game. We can look at the scoreboard and be down 5 runs, and we know we have a chance. We're never going to give up, and we're always going to fight till the final out.
Defensively, you make that really good play out there in right field. Your defense as a team was spectacular throughout the tournament as well. How important is that, and how crucial was that to help you guys get 2 wins today and win the SAC tournament?
Defense and pitching wins ball games, and we did that to a high level this weekend. And we made great plays all around, infield, outfield, behind the plate. We had a great weekend, filled the zone up, and we made the plays we needed to get us where we are right now.
Jacob LeBron, most valuable player. How does that sound?
Sounds great. Yeah, feels great.
You're another LeBron to get an MVP.
Yes, sir. Sounds great.
Congratulations. Good celebration.
Appreciate it.
Michael, back to you.
Thanks so much, Andrew. There's your champion. And Jacob LeBron, the tournament MVP. We'll send it down to the field now for the presentation of the awards here at Smoky Stadium. Newberry, the champions, 8-4 in the finale. Newberry celebrates. And for the first time since 1999, the Wolves are atop the South Atlantic Conference baseball champions. And the Wolves will get to celebrate. They're the AQ from the SAC. And they make their argument, perhaps, for the number 1 overall seed in the region. As they put the final stamp on the bracket. The champions, Cole Moshe, 3 scoreless innings to earn his 2nd save of the year. And Newberry is the champs. I'll let you watch some of these celebratory moments here, but I'd be remiss if I didn't thank our entire crew this weekend. Mary Vandergriff, Mia Toribio, Max Bryant, Gary LaPrairie, and Rick Gentahome, our camera operators, did great work all weekend long. Battling the rain yesterday and handling 2 games and a long day of baseball today. Our thanks to Conference Commissioner Patrick Britz, Christian Stryker, Madison Oster, and the entire South Atlantic Conference office for everything that they did. For our broadcast crew, director and producer Ian Johnson, replay operator Danny Wazorik, my broadcast partner Andrew Rogers. I'm Michael Watrang signing off as Newberry wins the championship, clinching it with an 8-4 win in the finale. And the Wolves have won their 2nd tournament championship in school history and first since 1999. Thank you so much for watching this presentation of South Atlantic Conference Tournament Baseball on Flow Sports. Good night, everybody.